Hello there, and how are you? My name is Mohindo Mubarak, and in this video I'm going to teach you how you can implement cards in different Android projects, and you're going to look at best practices of how we can use material UI cards in Android programming. In this video we're going to learn how to do something like this. We're going to see how we can make a card like this one, as the one that you see here on top, whereby we'll have an image on very top here, and then below it we'll have a title and a description and some buttons like these ones. And you can see that the card is is a very nice UI, whereby a component is, you can see how it is totally separate from another component by the use of that rounded corner that you can see bottom, around the card, as well as the kind of the shadow that is separating the card from another element. So those cards are the one that you're going to learn in this video, and we're going to create a card like this one, and we'll also go ahead and create a card like this, and also go ahead and create two cards like these ones, and then also create a card, other two cards like these ones. So we're going to make something like this exactly. In this video we're going to make an app like this one. So I hope you're ready to learn. Now let's get started. So I realized that this series is going to be a long series, so I decided to start organizing our code so that if you download this code, you should be able to trace which video, which content, which activity is following the other, and which video is talking about which particular activity. So I decided to organize our project, our activity, our elements into packages, whereby I created a main package of activity, and then under activity is where you can find the cards, and you'll find here everything about the card, and also under the buttons package you'll also find things about the button package. So when we run our application this time, it's going to look like this, so that it will be simple for you it should be simple for you to know when you download this code and know which one is following the other. So you see here, this is application, how to run on the main. When you run it, basically this is how it will look like. You'll have buttons, so this will cover the topics of buttons. When you click here, you will see other different topics that we cover in buttons, such as basic buttons, button utilities, and button toggle. So if you click here, button basic buttons, will show you the activity of basic buttons. So if you go back and click also on button toggle, you'll see the button toggle. So we'll do the same to different topics. For example, we're going to look at the topic of cards, so we're going to put the content or the list of cards here. So that's how we're going to organize this code, so that if you download this code, you should be able to know which video is pointing at or is talking at which particular codes in which particular package. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, so I've already created a main package for the card, and I put here the card home. Okay, so it's going to be like the menu for the cards. So in this menu of the cards, I'm going to put there buttons that will help us to move through the different topics of cards. So since you already have some of these buttons, so I'll just simply copy and come and paste what is the basic card home. Okay, it is here. I just come and click on control and click on the layout of a card. I'll get this, so I'll copy and paste here, and I'll remove this one from the context from main activity to be the card main activity. So here I'm going to change. We're going to begin by creating the card basic. We're going to begin by creating the card basic. So to do that, I'll just simply come and say open card basic. So that when you click on that, you should open the card basic, and then here I should put card basic or basic cards, whatever you call them. So card basic, I'm going to remove this one. So this is going to be the basics of a card. So let us first create that class, and then after creating the class of card basic, and then we'll go ahead and create the what, and I mean let us first create the activity of card basic, and then we'll go ahead and put this method that will be opening that card basic. So I'll come to my project and I come to the package of a what, of card here. I'll right click on it and then come new. So if you look for the code that I'm going to talk about in this particular video, you just simply come under activities, under package of card, and then come to new. It will find the code, this particular code. So I'll come to new and then say new activity, and then I say empty activity here, and then I'll put here card basic. Okay, so here instead of putting main activity, so it's going to be card basic activity, and then I say click finish, and you see that card basic activity is going to become here. It's going to come here. So I'm going to go ahead and then put a what, this click listener of opening the card basic activity by just simply clicking on Alt Enter. Sorry, click on Alt Enter and say create, and then Alt Enter and say create, and then I'm going to put here the intent and open the card basic. So we already have something like that opens, so I don't want to repeat myself. I can find it here, just copy it and paste it. So it's going to be intent, and this one is going to open what, card basic activity. So there we go. So after doing that, I'll close this for now. I'll close these ones. I want to have a few card basic. I think that's where we are. I want to have a few things open that is, I should not confuse you as we proceed. So I'll close this, I'll close this, I'll close this, I close this, and this one. Okay, so so let us start creating the what, the card basic activity. Okay, the card basic activity. So that's the layout. I'll split it so that you can see things clearly, and I'll try to zoom it so that you can see things better in a better way. So just like the way I always do it, I've already created this code, and I'm going to paste as we write it and as we explain step by step. So this code is here, card basic, and then I'll come to the layout. It is here, and then I'll have to begin with this one. Okay, so I'll begin by main layout. I'm going to make it a linear layout. So here I'll just delete this one and change it to what, to linear layout. Okay, and then I'll come and make orientation to be what, to be vertical, of course. Orientation vertical, that's our parent layout. Then after, I'll put the action bar. I'll just copy it here and I'll put it. I've already explained this action bar multiple times, so I don't need to repeat it. So we'll have our own action bar there. Then after, I'll go ahead and put the first card, but these cards will be in a nested scroll so that you should be able to do what, to scroll them. So I'll create a nested scroll element here on top here. After the action bar, I'll just put a nested scroll and then I'll close it. So this is a nested scroll. I just remove the scroll bars to none, and then I make cache to true, and I make it match parent, and I give it ID of nested scroll. So it is straightforward. I don't think here there is any confusion so far. So inside here, I'm going to put a linear layout, because you know a nested scroll can have only one child. Otherwise, if you put more than one child in nested scroll, your application will do what? Will crash. So I'm going to put this child of linear layout, and then I do what? I close it. So after doing that, you see it's a linear layout of match parent width, match parent height, and I put block descendants, and then I make orientation vertical, and same padding top, it should be having some medium size. Okay, padding top should have a dimensional of medium. So after doing that, I'll create our first card. So in the previous Android projects, these cards could be, we could first import the card the card class, but this Android X, it automatically comes with the what, with the card class, so you don't need to do what, to create to hassle when you're creating it. So I'll copy this and then I'll paste it here, and I'll explain each line of it. So I'll paste it there, and then I'll close it like this. Okay, so first of all, this is it. Okay, let me first show you the application, I mean the implementation that we can put in case your card is not resolved. So by default it will come while it is resolved in these days, but in case it is not resolving, we have to add a card implementation. So I'll come to our Gradle. Our Gradle is here, and then you have to implement card view. Okay, you have to implement card view. So you can search on internet just card view implementation, and then you'll find it there. So but automatically these days it comes in, so I'll just simply come here to come to module, and then under Google support libraries I'll add card view, and then I'll sync my project. You should be connected to internet to sync your project. Okay, you can search the latest one on Google, card view implementation. Here I see the latest one. These days Android X comes with the card view, so you don't need to do that implementation. The latest one is 1.0.1, so it is here. Just copied it, and it's just the same that we're having, just implementation card view, exactly the same. So we don't need again to stress. So after doing that, we've implemented it. You will just come and create your card view. So to create the card view, automatically it comes, but if you may need to, in case your project is not resolving it, just write like this card view and rub, and then put this v. You see the card view is there. Android X card view is the one that is that is recommended. Android X card view, already it will come there. So in case your app, if for example this app radius is not showing, you can just press alt and enter, it will be resolved. Control Alt L to organize your code. So you're having width, match parent, height, wrap content. Okay, so be as minimal as possible in terms of height. Then I'm giving the padding left, padding right, padding top, and padding bottom. Okay, and these dimensions are already defined. Then I can say visibility visible. This is just optional, you can leave it. And then the card corner, these are the corners of the card, so you can change the card corners at this point. And card elevation, those are the shadows of the of the card. So if you want to increase the corner of the card, you increase it from here, the card radius, corner radius, and it should be in the app, not Android. And also elevation, you can also change it from here. So after doing that, I will go ahead and start putting the components in our card. But remember, a card will also have only a single child. You cannot put there more than one child in a card. So I'll go ahead and start putting the components. For example, I'm going to put the linear layout, of course, because our card will have just a linear layout element, and then inside that linear layout is where we'll implement different components. So we'll begin by putting the linear layout, because our card cannot have more than one child. Orientation vertical, and then I close. Okay, so after closing, I'll go ahead and put the image. So I'll copy the image and just put it here. Okay, so this is image view. Okay, it is image view here, and is having, I just give it an ID, but ID is optional. I'll just make it match parent, and then I give it height, maybe 120, 160 dp as you wish. Okay, so may I make it 160 dp, and then after I go ahead, I give the scale type center crop, and then I give the image of IMG7. I already prepared these images, and I'm going to just implement them here. I'm going to import them here. This one, for example, this is the image 7, so I'm going to bring that image into the project. Right now it is not there, so I'll come here to the project, and then I'll scroll to the drawables, and then I'm going to drag and drop and put the image 7 here. So image 7 somewhere, I already have it. Sorry, let me get it. I already have these images. Image 7, no, let me see where I saved them. Okay, so I have already prepared my images. You can see They are here. I've already prepared them, but we'll be importing some as we require them. When you require them, then you import them. When you require them, then you import them. So right now we're going to import from image 1 up to image 20, up to image 30. So these images, you can also download them. They'll be in the application when I upload it. So I've already compressed them, and I can reuse them. So I'm going to be importing them when we need them. I can import them only one time, but if I imported them one time, then you may lose it. You may lose the point in the middle, and you fail to understand which point we are. So right now I'm going to import these images in my project. There are 20 images. Okay, I already named them. And when you name an image, don't put a space inside between, and don't name it in small letters. Okay, so I'm going to import from image 1 up to image 20. All these resources, we'll use them along the way, but I'm just interested in these from 1 up to 30. Okay, for now. So these are images. Where are they? They're here. I've selected from 1 to 30, and I'm going to drag and drop them into our project. Okay, so I will come here. You see, I'll press Ctrl and then drag and drop them into drawable. Make sure you're pointing at drawable, otherwise if they go in a wrong place, then your project will not compile. Then I'll drop them there in a drawable and then say refactor, so they'll be copied and placed in drawable. So you can see I now have image 1 up to image 30. The remaining ones, we will look at them as we proceed. When I want something, I'll be importing it manually, so that it should not be misled. So these images, I will now upload this product. I'll upload when the link to the source code. When you follow the link to the source code, you'll also find this image. You can also reuse them, or you can download your own images from other sources. So I now have image 1. So we have had our image there. Now we'll go ahead and place the title. So this can be, for example, blog post. So I'll get the text that I created here. And this text is one that I'm going to copy, and then I'll come and paste it here as my title. So just be a simple rem ipsum, and then I give this text a height of wrap content, and I give the padding, the margin of large, so it should be spaced from the top and bottom and left and right. So I give the margin of large, and then I give the text, and then I make the text appearance to be the headline. I told you that headline is Android appearance. Just provide the word headline in the text appearance, and then Android will do it for you. You can have headline 1, you see, just write headline. You can have headline 1, you see, headline 1, headline 2, headline 3, headline 4, or can just simply have a headline like the way you see it here, and then Android will do that for you. Just write headline, and then Android will do that for you like that. So it will be following the good practices of creating text. Text formatting. So I've created that text, so I'll go ahead and put the details of the description. I just simply copy this description part, and then come and paste it here next to this one. So we'll have this. Let me explain every part here. This is just a text view, and it is having a wrap content of height, wrap content of width, and then it's having the padding left and right and center and bottom of large, and then I'll go ahead and give it text of some middle lorem ipsum. So I created also some resources in the string, so I'm going to create this one and as middle lorem ipsum, because I don't want to repeat myself when I want to write any dummy content. So I created these ones there. So I'm going to also write another dummy content, and I'm going to name it as middle lorem ipsum. So in the string, so that will be referencing that one. So press Alt and Enter, and then say create a string, and I give it a value of this. I write some lorem ipsum, which is medium size, and then say okay. See, that text will be resolved. So you press Ctrl and click on it. You see it is nothing but inside our strings layout. Inside our strings resources, we have added this extra text. This is just some dummy content that we'll use just to present. Okay, so I can have also some other dummy content here, but don't worry, I'll be creating them when you require them. Okay, so that was a middle or medium lorem ipsum. So let us go ahead and proceed with our card. So that is done. So I'll give the appearance of subheading. So Android also has a text appearance of subheading. If you want to see these appearances, just press Ctrl and click on them, and then you see the different appearances that you can use for Android, tooltip and the rest. They are all there. So I use this one of subheading to make this text appear like this one, and then after I will go ahead and create the next component, the next element. Okay, so this one is looking like this at this moment. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and create the next element, which is going to be another linear layout, which is going to have of horizontal, which is going to have 2 buttons. Okay, so I'll collapse this linear layout and go ahead and give here the linear layout, and I'm going to explain everything there. So before I have this linear layout, do you have any view on top of it? Nah. So let me go ahead and explain. So here it is a linear layout of horizontal, so that things should be vertical to each other or one next to each other. So we have here a button of borderless. Remember, we created these buttons in the very first video, and we made some style of borderless. Okay, I have a borderless button, and it's having width of wrap content, height, and gravity of center, and then text with the word share, and then we have another button with the difference of only text of the word explore. So by doing like that, we'll have created our first card. So I'm going to run this project and we see what we have come up with. So I'll simply click on run and we see our card, how it's going to look like on the emulator. So our application has executed successfully. Now let us go ahead and test. So you see in the main we have cards, click on cards, and then you have basic cards. Click on basic cards, we'll get our beautiful card. You can see it's having that kind of shadow and that kind of round around it. And you see when you click on share, it is having this one. You should also be able to create something like this. And only we're liking the title, I'm going to put here the toolbar, the title, and also the the menu. So let us do that, so that our project should look a little bit impressive. So to do that, I already have such a things here in the do you have them in the toggle? No, in the main. Card more main, button more, and then I'll go here to layout. I'll just simply come and get this toolbar. You're having these things in your button utilities. Yeah, that's why I implemented these things of the toolbar. So let me make it a little bit faster. So I'm just going to get this toolbar and I'm going to implement it just in our other cards. So I just simply come and copy it. You see, I just copy this toolbar, and then I'll go to our card main. I'm going to implement there first by simply going to card main here, and here on top I'll change this one to nested scroll, and here on top I'll put what? I'll put that toolbar, and then after I'll have to set the content to go in that toolbar by just simply coming here and copy this part. Okay, so I'm going to go to paste it here in this card, and I'm going to name this one cards. Okay, card menu, cards. I can just say cards. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same for the basic card, so that our thing should look a little bit formal. So here, basic card, I'm just going to put here basic card, and then I'll also go and get this toolbar here from here. Just going to get this from here. Then I'll go to our basic card. Where is it? Basic card. I can get it from here. Just click on Control, and then we're here. It's already there. So if you run it again, oh, it should be basic card, not cards. Okay. Basic cards, or cards basics. Card basic, cards basic, or card basics, anything. So let's run the application and we see what's going to come up with. So you see we have cards, and you see this is what I'm talking about. You have cards here, and you can click back, and then you have also card basics. See, card basics. So this is what I wanted us to implement, and that's what I was doing. Now let's go ahead and create another card. So we're going to create this kind of a card with icons. This one with icons. So we're going to go step by step. Okay. At the first time, we'll begin by creating the card parent itself. So I'll just copy that first layout, and I'm going to explain what is done here inside there. So card basics, and click on Control to go to the cards. Here we are. So I'm going to put down here in the bottom. I'm going to put that card. So I'll come there down here. Or we should begin from the top. That should always be on top. Okay, let me put on the top. So I'll just paste it here in this linear layout, and then I'll later close it. Then I'll explain everything here. This is just a card parent. Yeah, do you put in the right place? No. You don't put in the right place. It should be inside the linear layout. That is the child to the nested scroll view. Okay, so let me explain what is going on here. I have created just a card parent, and I've made the width be match parent, height to wrap content, and having the padding and the margin. And then I made this card visible, and just like the way we did the previous one, the radius and elevation. Then I'm going to go ahead and give it a one parent, which is going to be a linear layout, and I'll just simply paste it there. And then after, I'll have to give it a relative view. Okay, so before we do something else, just first close this linear layout. So since you're going to have a content on top of the other, linear layout cannot manage to put the content on top of the other. So I'm going to put a relative view. So put a relative view, and that's a relative view with a height of 200 dp, and then I'll close it from here. Okay, close it from here. So I hope you can do the same thing. Okay, I hope you can do the same thing. And then after, I'm going to give an image view that's going to match parent. So that's the image that is going to be in background. For relative view, it doesn't matter what is inside the background. So you're going to come up with something like this. So you see, it's an image with width match parent, height match parent, and the style is center crop, and having the image. So it is going to spend 100% of the content that is storing it. So I can even attach this to the parent, but for now I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so after, we're going to add we're going to add this text. Okay, so just simply come and copy this text, and then this text is the one that I'm going to position down here. So let us explain everything here. This is just a text on top of the image that we created, because it is a relative layout that is inside the linear layout. Okay, so this text, this image is inside the relative layout, so it does not depend like which one comes first. It will just go behind the other content that is in front of it. So I put here the text, and I make it match parent, wrap content, the width and height, and then I give it margin, align bottom, then it will make sure it is coming from the bottom. And then I make the margin layout, I mean the margin to be large, and I put there the text. Okay, so it will have the margin to be large, and then I just put text appearance to be the headline like the way I did before, and then we make the text to be white. So by doing that, that element will come here on bottom like that. So those are the simple ways how you can do it. So I hope you can see this code, and if I'm too fast, you can pause the video and look at it, and then you also do what? You also try it. Don't just watch as you are trying. So we launch the application, and then we go to cards, and then we go to basic cards, and then you see we have that beautiful layout with an image with corners. So if you increase these corners, they'll also do what? They'll also increase, and then also the text. Okay, and you can scroll. Okay, so we proceed to something else without wasting much time. I'm going to create this one. I'm going to create these cards where one is neighboring the other. Okay, so I'm going just to copy this layout, and I'll explain it. So I'll just come and copy this layout. It's a linear layout that is having horizontal alignment, I mean orientation. So I'll copy it, and I'm going to explain it step by step, so don't worry. I'm going to put on top so that we should not scroll every time. So I'll come here on top, and then in this linear layout, after nested scroll, they have a linear layout. So inside that linear layout so I'm going to put this card. So let us explain step by step. So it's just a linear layout, this one here, that is having orientation of horizontal. It's having orientation of horizontal. Why? Because I want one to be next to the other. It's having orientation of horizontal, and then you're having the card inside this linear layout. Okay, this first card, and you know the attributes that I've been putting there, just the same. And then inside that card, I have a what? I have a linear layout and a relative layout inside. It's just like this one, but 2 times the other one. And we have the text, and we have the gravity, I mean the other text on top here, and its gravity is what? Is centered. Alignment is centered bottom. And then I have, after it, I have another linear layout which is having buttons, and it is centered in what? In horizontal. Then I'm going to change this SRC to do what? To be from up compat to just SRC, and then we see we'll have that button with this one. So this is just a linear layout. Can you see down here? It is a linear layout that is having horizontal elements. So here I'm going to put here a bookmark icon. So I just simply come here. I can just as well, I already have this bookmark icon, so .xml. So I'll just drag and drop it here inside my drawables. We can as well create it, no problem. So let me just drag and drop it here, this bookmark. So a refactor, that's a bookmark that I've just imported. So if you come here, you see I have this bookmark. So I'll just change this one from up compat to what? To SRC, or you can just simply press Alt and enter. SRC. So there we go. So lastly we have this. It is a what? It is a icon of share. So I'll just come and copy that icon of share, but you can also as well create it from you can create it from what? From vector assets, icon of share. So it is there, and in a close, you see icon of share has also come. I'll just come and copy this and replace it with what? With SRC. Then press enter, and then the whole problem will be gone. No, that SRC, Android SRC, just write SRC Android, and then press enter, and then the problem will be gone. So we have come up with something like this. Okay, I've come up with something like this. So you shouldn't be confused. These are just two. You remember when you created this one, but this one is the two of these one that are inside the linear layout that is vertical. I mean that is having a horizontal orientation. Okay, so let us run the application and see how it looks like so far. That's our application. So I click on cards and then basic cards. You see we're having these two basic cards. If you scroll down, you'll have these ones. Okay, so I hope you can do the same thing. Please don't just watch, but watch as you practice. You see, and these are what? These are button images. Okay, image buttons. How do you call them? Button with images, button with icons, whatever you call them. But that's the point. And you can see our cards are having different UI. If it was linear layout, we couldn't have that kind of circling around the layout, but with cards we have that UI that you can see is kind of a circle behind the behind the layout. So we are remaining with two challenges, remaining with this simple one that I'm going to copy here and explain how it is going to be made. So it is just for it to just a plain card with no anything. So I'll just copy it and go and explain how it works. I mean how I created it. So I'll come here and then I'll come on top here. I will try to collapse this one and I'll come and paste it on top here. I'll share this source code and the link I'll put in the description, but don't just use my source code before you try your own. So there we are. We're having this element. It is a card. It's a card that is having width of match parent, wrap content height, and it's having some padding and margin, and it is visible. And then we're having the color, the background color to be the color of blue of 700 variation. Remember, these colors we defined them in the first video. If you were not there, look at our first video. You'll see how we define these colors using material colors. So after putting that, we have here now the linear layout, and this linear layout is having width of match parent and height of wrap content. And then we have the text here, this first text with the color of white. Okay, remember the background, the card is having the background we put in the and the card. And then we're having the text, this text, so lorem ipsum, let us put just lorem ipsum medium. Okay, ipsum medium. So it's now too huge, but for now let's just leave it like that, or I can limit it by putting max lines. Okay, and maybe say 4, then it will truncate it. Okay, then we have our button here, which is a borderless, sorry, it is a button with with white text. We have not created that UI. Let us now create it right now with this button with a white text. I'm going to add it in the styles right now. Okay, so this is just a button with just the color of text style white. So I'll just simply come here and then come to the styles. I'll come to our views, to our values, and then click on styles. Here we are, and then I'll just paste that class that is just a button, an accent button, which is the parent of the colored button, but the only thing, the text color is white. So if you come here, you'll see this button has been resolved. So we have resolved everything. So this one is just nothing but a card with a background of blue, or the primary color. You can make it even a primary color, and then after the background we have the linear layouts in front of that card. Don't just look at it, but try it and see if you can also make it by following the steps that I have explained on top there. Just run the application and you see how it looks like. So we go to cards, we go to basic cards. You'll see we have created that beautiful UI with a button. So it can be maybe a song with a song title and description, and then action button, for example, listen now, or maybe subscribe. You can be anything like you want to show to your users. So see, that's our beautiful components of cards. So let us go ahead and do what, and create these very last challenges of 2 cards which are standing, and they are made of plain text. So I'll go ahead and copy this linear layout here. So just collapse it, copy it, and then go to our card. I'm going to go also to put it on top because I don't want to scroll every time to go down. So I'm going to put it on top. That's the technique I'll be using. So, or you can be beginning from bottom. So there we are, and this is it. Okay, so I'm going to explain. First of all, it's going to be a linear layout with the orientation horizontal. Okay, linear layout with the orientation horizontal, and then we're going to have here our first card and our second card. Okay, so in the very first card, we're having also another linear layout which is having a text, and inside that text we're having another view here that is separating, and under that we are having linear layout, and it's also horizontal, and we're having text, and this text is having the text appearance of small. Just write small when you're writing the text appearance, and you see that suggestion small, and then the word and it is in the white, and then it is having the ID, I mean the icon of event. So let us create that event icon by simply coming here to drawables, and then new vector, and then I'll click here and then say event, and then maybe I'll put this calendar, and then I'll say finish. Then we'll have that event icon there. So I'll change this SRC, I mean this one to SRC of Android. Then we have that one, and then what we remain with is this one, the very last one, this, and it is going to be followed just by using the same step, but the only thing is that this one is on bottom and this one is on top. So you'll have that kind of beautiful UI. So I hope you understood everything. In case you did not, then you have to look at my own original source code that I'm going to upload, and the link I'll put in the description of this video, and you should compare and see where you could have gone wrong. But don't just watch as you practice. So let us run the project and you see what you're going to have in place. So there we go. We're having cards, and then we're having card basics, and then when you click on card basics, you see we're having these beautiful user interfaces. You see. So I hope you can also make something as beautiful as that. Don't just watch, but watch as you practice. So this thing has crashed again. Okay, so in this video we'll not go beyond there. I hope you'll not miss in the next video, where we're going to look at more advanced cards that you can implement in our Android projects. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't miss in the next video. Thank you for watching.